My phone is on 6% battery. It's midnight, so I have to make this quick because I need to go to sleep so I can wake up tomorrow morning to get lunch. It's Christmas Eve, technically, because it's past midnight. And I am officially going to run a marathon on all 7 continents January 31st of 2025 over the course of 1 week. So 26 miles every day for a week in every continent, including Antarctica. That 30 seconds that I just told you, packed with information, like, this is after running a marathon in all 50 states this year, by the way. Would I ever have thought that when I started this account, all of that would be on the table? No, not at all. Like, you don't know the answers. You just get started. That's it. You can't even forecast what the answers are going to be. You don't even know what's possible. Like, the potential that exists out there is soul crushing. To think about it all right now would actually be worse for you than to just take a blind step out, not knowing, but figuring it out along the way. As well, it's a lot more fun, a lot more interesting if you can learn through the process instead of trying to come up with an answer before you get started. You don't want to know where you're headed 100% because then you're just like following a path, like a trail. You want to kind of go out and explore. This is the wilderness. You want to hike a mountain. You don't want to follow the trail all around the woods. You want to go off the trail, off the beaten path, do things that other people would never consider, get a little bit uncomfortable in the pursuit of this idea. So it's important to have an idea of what you want, but not to nail that down as the thing that has to happen, as well not to force knowing exactly what that idea is. You can have a vagueness, right? Okay, running a marathon in all 50 states. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm just going to try to run, enough miles this month. I'm just going to go out there and run a ton of miles. This is October of 2023, a year ago when I started training for this whole thing. I had the vagueness of an idea. I just want to run marathons next year. Maybe I can run a marathon in all 50 states. Let me just train for this thing and see if it's even possible. And so I started with the vagueness and I just stepped out into the open. October, I ran like 160 miles, which is good, but 40 miles a week to run a marathon every single weekend of 2024, you would think that someone's training 70 to 80 miles, right? Okay, so I'm doing half the training I need to do, right? As well, you would think that they've been doing it for several months. Okay, so I'm doing half the training that I need to do, and I have to do it for several more months before I start this challenge. Well, I don't have the several months part. I've got 2 more left. October of 2023, I'm starting January of 2024. And so then I just had to ramp up my mileage in November and December. Did I know that it was possible? No, but I just stepped out into the vagueness of the idea. I just threw it out there. I didn't even know if it was logistically possible until December. I started training to run the marathon in every state, the 50 States Marathon Challenge, in October without even knowing if it was possible. And so then you step into these things with the vagueness of an idea, and as you move towards it, the path illuminates. Take a step and the path illuminates, right? So all you have to do is just move one step forward at a time, and the rest of the path reveals itself. And the best things that have happened in my life are the things that were unexpected. If I would have known the answer before I stepped into it, I wouldn't have opened the door to that soul-crushing possibility, the serendipity, the wonderful things that happen when you don't know what's going to happen, right? Whatever that word is, I want to find a good word to define that. I want to get more articulate with my word choices and expand my vocabulary. That's something I need to do in 2025. I'm going to run a marathon on all 7 continents in January, starting in January, ending February 6th. Did I think that was possible a year and a half ago when I started this account? It was a year and 2 months ago, October of 2023. No. But go back and watch that first video. You can see me with a full beard. I was an entirely different person. At the end of 2023, I felt like the entire year was a failure. And then I took on an idea, a daily commitment to show up for myself with the daily mile. And then a vagueness of an idea with a challenge that I wanted to do, the 50 States Marathon Challenge. And week by week, I pursued that idea and slowly got more clarity. And then ultimately, like, this wasn't me. God slowly revealed things to me. If he would have given me everything up front, then it probably would have crushed me, and I probably would have, shied away from the opportunity. And so knowing everything right now would crush you. And what you need to do instead is just step into it one step at a time, slowly. This is a process. It's the thing that you build, that you enjoy. This is a life that you get to live. I get to run 7 marathons over the course of a week. I get to visit every continent. This is an idea that I've had since John, Ethan, and I went to all 50 states the first time in 2021. We wanted to follow it up with like the 7 continents trip. Guys, I actually get to do it. This is an idea I've had for 3 years. Like, that hasn't hit me yet. But regardless, did I ever think that that would happen? That I would finish the 50 States Challenge? That I would hit 100,000 followers on Instagram? That I would have a post with a brand that would be worth over $1,000? Like, these things all pop up as a result of putting in the work of editing and moving through this process of the 50 States Marathon Challenge 1 week at a time. But I never had any clue that this would happen. So then, like, moving into this next year, I don't have to know what's going to happen, right? Because the greatest things that have happened to me this year, I had zero clue that it was going to happen. Guaranteed, the greatest things that have happened in my life, I had no idea. I couldn't even fathom. But that's the beautiful part about life, is that you just have the willingness to step into the unknown, and then you take it on in the moment. The adventurous spirit of, like, whatever happens to me, I will, like, be there in that situation. I'll figure it out if it's bad, or I will enjoy it if it's good. I will grow into it if it's requiring more out of me. Whatever happens to me, I will rise to the occasion. But if I knew what it was going into it, exactly what it was, all the details, it would take away from the beauty of the whole experience. And so I don't have to know. And from this newfound worldview, I don't want to know. I want to step into it without the full knowledge, because that's the beautiful part about life. I would be robbing myself of a fuller life by having a guaranteed answer that is destined to change along the way, because you have no idea. You can't predict these things. Life happens. Things become available to you, or doors open, you meet people, whatever it is, and they change the trajectory of your life. The opportunities, the people, whatever it is. You don't know that this is going to happen, and so you just welcome it with open arms. You can see why, like, it makes sense why you want the answers, why I want the answers. Because it's a big risk going into a new year without knowing what's next. But from this newfound worldview, I get to walk into these moments this next year with open arms and embrace anything that comes my way. This is it, if I would have predicted what would have happened, I wouldn't have this beautiful embrace of whatever has come my way. Whatever it is, like, basically, I'm imagining what I could do in this next year, and it's kind of linear. It's like right here. And then God is like, no. Like, I want you up here. And so if you want the answers right now, you're capping your potential in your life. But I know you're destined for so much more. So I'm not going to give you all the answers, right? I'm not going to even allow you to think about what the answers could be. Just step into this with open arms. Trust me. That's what God is saying. And so with the 7 Continents Marathon Challenge, like the World Marathon Challenge, 7 continents, 7 days, I had no idea that was even an option on the table a year ago when I made this video. But just week by week, I stepped into it by completing this 50 States Marathon Challenge. And now that we're here, I don't have to know the answers. I just have to take it one day at a time, moving towards it. And what's next after that? Should I do a 50 States Challenge? Should I, do the 7 World Majors? Like, I don't need the answers, right? Because this 7 Continents Challenge, I got to make a separate video on how this opportunity came about. But basically, in the past 5 days, the challenge that cost $44,000, I didn't have any way of paying for it. Then I found a sponsor, and I got a green light 48 hours later. And then I signed a contract 3 days later. And here we are. My phone's about to die. Open your arms to the possibility Don't try to get the answers right now, and embrace the beauty that comes your way. And that's life. One of us.